Good morning, everyone. All right, let's get into it. Um, we're just going to we're going to be continuing our texturing today because we're having some good results. Um, just did a little tweaking this morning on this texture here because I like the look of it, and we're just going to try to tweak it a little bit. So we'll probably do the rest of the clothing and then start on the lingerie for the character. Lingerie. And yeah, just continue doing a little bit more detailing, seeing what else we can kind of pull out of the design. Really loving this belt. I think that looks amazing. Look at it 4K actually. Oh yeah, look at the detail. Now we did before I started streaming. I was just kind of messing around with some stuff for the corset bra section here. I added these little highlights, or this shadow, and then these highlights, which really helped kind of um, pull the design out. I think it looks pretty good. Um, Now we kind of want to do the same thing with this corset spot here. And then I think try to get some sort of edge made for the corset because it's kind of plain towards the edges. So what would be best to do that? We do already have a bevel for the full body, so I think we can just kind of reuse that. Where did I put that? That would be, it is at the very top object. That's a bit of a bug. All right, that's okay. We'll just do it just on the corset this time. So we'll go into here, corset, and we'll make a template like so. Just drag that. Whoa, no, not that. Just drag this out here. That's what we currently have. And this will be corset edge emboss. Something like that. Okay. Now, first step is we'll make a white mask, which will affect everything. But then we'll deselect and add on top of here a bevel, uh, which allows us to then push this gradient along the edges, which is quite useful. Very useful, actually. Smooth it a bit, but it is quite jagged in a way. It gets really funky right there. It's very uniform here, but in this space, not quite as uniform. Maybe if we just have the edge be here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So we'll just target that area. Then I'll add one more paint on top so we can remove this section here. And it's just the corset itself. All right. Now that we've done that, let's adjust the properties. We'll make make this very dark. We'll give it some height. Lower that height so we can get kind of a cut. And I guess we need to remove the smooth. It's hard to see right now. There we go. Okay. So right up there. Back to the height. Just kind of push it down a little. And then most importantly, we'll get the roughness and turn it off. Still not quite as nice as I'd want. Definitely helps a little. But not exactly what I'm looking for. What can I do? I could add a levels here, and we can try to kind of definitely sharpen that range. About there. So, all right, that helps. Okay. But what I'd really like is like a line. I think that's going to be hard to do. I would need like two bevels that I could adjust to get that line, to get a line that I push in and out. Perhaps there's another filter I can add. Mask outline. That sure seems like exactly what I'd want. All right, let's put it above the levels. Nice. Okay. Yes. Then we can go to the bevel. Just kind of position it a little differently. Right there. And then for the outline, let's first turn down the width a little. Ooh. Shape then. Blur. No blur. Smart mask position, both. I mean, that's what I was hoping for earlier. Something like that. But the problem is that it conforms to the geometry, which makes it look very jagged and sharp. So I'd rather have it just on the inside. Then we'll have to do another more manual process to get the rest of it. Start from blank. Yeah. All right, there we go. Excuse me. Let's actually put the levels above the mask. Nice. Get that really sharp. All right, I'm going to be using the heck out of that tool. That's very useful. Okay, but nice. We get a nice outline here. Really helps offset it visually from the body. And then we just need to get rid of it here. All right. Perfect. And that helps quite a bit, but I still feel like we just need a little something else here. Right? Just on the, maybe we just need to make this pattern bigger. Okay, so let's mess around with that. That would be in the core set emboss layer right here. And we're just going to, oh, not that one, this one. Move it up, move it over. In fact, why don't we just edit the, where is it? Edit vertices. And we're going to take this one and just move that up a ways. Maybe even, oh. Ooh. Nice. Down just a little. This one down just a little. All right. Okay, that does feel better. Yeah. Feels a little bit more filled out. There's just a lot of blank space there, which I wasn't enjoying. We can also swap it because we do have other designs that are very similar. Well, this is the one we're using. Could try this one. Why don't we take a look at the stuff we got? Resources, clip art, celestial tarot. So in here we have a bunch of designs. This is the one we're using. We're just looking for other ones like that. Nothing in that folder. These might work though. Me. It's okay. Okay, then we're just gonna leave it. It looks good. We're done. All right, moving on. We're still gonna mess around with the corset. We're gonna do what we did to the bra here, where we added these highlights and shadows to really help it pop. Shadow highlights. So do something very similar here. So one more template. Bada boom. And this will be corset emboss highlight. We add a fill layer. Go to our anchor point that we created before, and we can see that what we're targeting now. Then we do our usual, add a filter, our favorite, bevel. Blur would work just as fine. In fact, I think blur would probably be perfect. Push it out a little ways. Then we take the fill again, duplicate it, put it up top, and subtract. Now we're just targeting the edge. Perfect. That all looks good. And we go to our blur. Just kind of lower it a little bit, maybe right about there. And then adjust the material properties. I usually like putting a little bit of height, like that. It just gives it that really crisp touch. See what I mean? Kind of really pushes that design out. Right about there. Nice. And then for the color, I think we'll go with this kind of a yellowish color that we'll set to what? Hard light? Maybe soft light. see a little bit. All right. Pop. So now it's popping. Before, after. All right. I could also add another fill and set this to just a noise. Something like this. It's a little stronger. I'm going to tile it 4 times, then tweak the balance here. But that way we get just a bit of, it's a little hard to see, but basically we're kind of giving it some texture so it doesn't seem so uniform. Actually, you know what I'd like to try? There's another filter we have, which is the blur slope. Interesting. Well, I think that's pretty darn good. Custom noise. Oh, we can add a noise to it as well. Maybe something like that. Doesn't really seem to be doing anything, but all right. Extra 10. That way we have a bit more range. Okay. Because, you know, leather's not perfect. It's got a lot of subtle imperfections. So I think that helps break it up a little bit. It's a little funky right there. All right. I think that's probably it for the corset. Oh no. No. We're gonna do the this is the corset emboss shadow. And we once again take the fill of the anchor point corset emboss. This time we will actually use the bevel because it gives us this nice softness in there. Duplicate this, put it above, and set it to inverse subtract. And now you can see it's stronger at the edge and softer in the middle, which is what we want. So we're looking for something kind of like that, a little bit softer though. And then we, since this is the shadow, we darken. Though it is hard to make something dark that's already or black. So let's see if we can adjust this a little bit. That's the wrong one. Corset emboss here. Just want to bring this up so that we can see the shadow we're making. Perfect. Now, why is the blur slope overlapping the shadow we're making? I guess it's not. It's just that our shadow is somewhat. There we go. Lighter. Let's go back to our highlight here. Blur slope. Set this to 100 so we could just have a bit more nuance here. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Now back here. Go to our shadow, material, height, lower, punching down so that gives it a nice pop. And then roughness, we turn all the way down so that it can help this shine. In fact, we'll actually go to our emboss here, raise it a bit. There's just a little more variation there. And wha-bam! All right. So, a before and after. This was before. This is after. All right. It's really like this. Before, after. All right. I think that looks pretty good. It's reviewing right now. A little odd right there, but I think that's fine. Really like the shoes. Those are pretty cool. Dope. All right. So now we're going to move on to the body, which we haven't touched yet. We're going to start creating some clothing. Basically, we're going to give her lingerie. 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 Pretty sure. Add fill. And in fill, we'll add our fun little pieces that we're making. Maybe one of these. Let's try this one. Bam. And so a lot of different places we could put this. But we're going to start with the leg. Because we wanted to make, before we were working on creating, what are they called? Garters. That's it. It looks like that's not quite going to work. So I think before I really get into this, let's delete that. Create a new one. Set it to planar projection. No repeat. Good morning, Oaks. How you doing today? Here. Oh, of course, add the object. Something to that effect. Oh. And then we'll adjust the material. Black. Roughness. Low. Has height. I need to create a shadow for it as well. Something like that. Got no complaints. The Abbey is coming along. It is. Yeah, very pleased. Got a lot of little fun details all over the character. Just adding more right now. A lot of these boots. Very pleased with our progress. And right now, we're going to try to start working on the garters, or like the lingerie for the character. I don't know how much of I should be doing that on stream. Just can't risk the wrath of Twitch. I mean, we all know that they don't care, but are you working on rigging a character out? Let's see where the seam is. High resolution, low resolution. High, low, high, low. So we'll want it a high resolution. I should probably look up some reference for this so I know what I'm doing. No, I'm just working. But yeah, I have a little animation I'm working on. That's exciting. That's super cool. Well, definitely feel free to share once you've gotten to a spot you'd like to. All right, I'm gonna open Pinterest, look up some garter reference. Well, do I want to make it look like... Okay. What if we just do this instead? Let's actually make it a strap like this. Let's rotate it. Turn off these other ones. We can do something like that. Because that's actually a garter. Most garters actually. I'll see if I can pop the little video I have in the Discord. Oh, heck yeah. Um, so we'll want a lingerie, but we'll need an anchor point for this. And above this, we're going to create another template folder, which will be the lingerie shadow. And of course, we'll derive its information from that mask. We'll do our classic filter, blur, like so. And then we take this one, drop it here, and set it to subtract. So Now we can darken the spot where it touches. Also adding levels so we can kind of limit that influence. Got in self promo. It's not rendered. Let's take a look. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, this looks great. Nice. Is this Eevee? Very good. Hey, that's awesome. I love that. Manny the Mannequin. Very cool. Nice. Good job, Oaks. And is that the character you're putting together? Yes. Now we've got the strap pushing on the skin a little bit. That looks good. This is really blurry right here. But in 4K, it looks fine. Good. So now we'll just kind of continue messing around with this garter kind of looking thing. Thanks. I just started working on blocking. There is that one and a female mannequin that doesn't have an arm. So he's going to give her his arm. So the artist starts to draw her again. Oh, that's charming. All right. So just move the character. Actually, I'm going to switch to webcam really quick because I just want to give the character some covering before we continue. Just so it doesn't look quite as salacious. Down there. And let's call it underwear, I suppose. Bada boom. Something like that. And then getting the arm set up to be removable and still work with the bodies was a learning experience. Oh yeah. Little props can be so tricky. Really coughing outside. All right. Temporary underwear created. And I'll give it just a little bit of height so it looks like clothing. Make it blue or something. All right. Okay. Back to this. So we just created some sort of underwear for her just while we're working on the clothing. I'm actually going to get rid of a little bit of it so we can still see her full design. All right. Now, basically, we're working on these garters, most importantly. And I have some reference on my other screen for what it's going to look like. And we're just kind of blocking it out. I guess actually I should make this garters. And this should be garter. Yes. Garter. Shadow. Okay. And we'll add a paint layer here. The fill layers are really nice because they're super accurate. Right? I just know what that shape's going to be. So why don't we continue to use those? Take this, do that. Grow this. Whoop. Come on. Lower it down a little bit. All right. And rotate it so that the end attaches. Front does not. Okay. Rotate here. A little bit lower. I don't want it meeting on the belly button. Belly button. All right. Garters of some sort. I think we'll rotate it like this so we get a nice curve on it. And we just want it to be above the clothing here. You know what? Why don't we just go ahead and fill it completely. And then we'll just make one more fill layer, which we'll set to subtract. Make sure it's linear. And then we just shrink it like that. Move it forward, up, and squish. Squish. All right. Then we're not second guessing in any way. We're just doing exactly what we intend. It's always an odd balancing act when working with these, but that looks pretty good. Okay, there we go. I like having this curve. That looks nice. All right. Then for these lines here, we'll just kind of shrink them a little bit. Then what we're going to do is add in the garter folder. I think we have a silk material. That probably work very well. Drop that there. Now we get this nice little texture. Does look like height's going the wrong way though. Excuse me. This height to push out. I guess that's what it's doing. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. We switch this back to 4K. Just want to check the resolution here. Oh, okay. That's a very uniform patchwork. Not really sure if that changed, but it does look better. A little bit. And there's no color because we're overriding it. Cool. Me gusta. And then let's go back to our shadow layer here. Go to our levels and let's see. Switch to color, so hopefully we can see this a bit better. That does not look good. There is an add-on I've been thinking of buying. Well, I look away for 5 minutes and this is what you're doing? Well, good. Yeah, we're working on some saucy stuff today. Can't move that one or else it starts creating this sharp line. Just adjust this one. Then we want to take the height. Yeah, because I want it to look like the garters are pushing into the skin a little bit. At least a little bit. Come on. Come on, substance. Oh, I'm still in 4K. No, I'm not. Thought I was. All right. So I think this material is a little odd. It's just kind of, it's too much. Oh no, I should be on the body layer. Go to here. The silk. Maybe we can just tile it. Let's set it to triplane as well. Triplanar as well. Just tile it 8 times or so. Whoa. Okay, now that looks more like a actual fabric. All right. Next. So maybe what we should do is for the garters, we should actually remove the height from here. And we're going to do it on its own layer here, which we'll call garter height. And this will inherit the garter mask. Boom. And we'll take this, do just height, fill, then add a filter, bevel. Actually, we will add color as well, because I do need to be able to see what I'm doing. Let's add this above the shadow. Yeah. Yeah. So do that. Then duplicate this, move it up top, and we'll want an inverse subtract. No, actually, I take that back. This is fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. Back to material view. Let's turn off the color. And now we have just the heights to play around with. Move it up. Go to the bevel. Tweak the distance here to be something like right there. Turn up the smoothing, most importantly. Now we have a material that looks a bit more like it's actually resting on the skin. It's got some thickness now, which is good. And then here, height, lower it just a little ways. All right. I guess we're saving. So now let's create the stockings. Nylon stockings? Stockings? That's the right word, right? Okay. Got some basic garters in. Now we'll make another layer. And this will be the login. And for this one, what? We'll do a material like this. This one will also have its own mask. Or no. Yeah, we'll just do it here. So first we add a fill. In the fill, we want a grid like this, honestly. Maybe a brick texture would work. Shape brick. We tile it. Wow, we need to tile it more times than that. Oh, okay, perfect. And then we just want to right click, filter, invert. So now we have a nylon material. Perfect. Now it is going to not hold up on the feet. It's going to get pretty funky there. So we could set it to a triplanar projection. It's not as accurate technically. It does these weird little lines here. But it would look relatively more uniform. UV. But the next part about the UV is it actually conforms to body, which looks a lot more realistic. Yeah, we'll go with this one. All right, and then we're going to add one more paint on top, and we'll just do this, set it to multiply, or subtract. There we go. Then we can just target specific spots, body, like so. Boom. All right. Now let's give it a little bit of height. Probably not that much. 0.005. Just a smidge. And also a little bit of roughness. Interestingly enough, I think we want to actually make them not shiny. That's what makes nylon look shiny. It's actually the skin underneath. All right, perfect. Then for our brick shape, kind of tweak it a little bit. Well, we'll just have that to play around with. Okay, perfect. Now we need a trim here. Yeah, technically this is definitely incorrect because it wouldn't go over each toe, I think. I don't know, are there toe? It's like what are those called? Those little running shoes where you put your toes through them. But the nylon version. All right. So we'll go over here. Above this, we're going to create the nylon trim with a fill. In the fill, we of course add our favorite textures. Just going to move them onto the leg. Right about here. Perfect. Now, for this though, we are going to first flip it. It's like that, because these little dots don't make sense floating above. So do a little bit of that. And then we'll make sure that it's only repeating horizontally. And then make a paint layer to remove it. Okay. Usually this design is a little denser. No, that actually works pretty well. It just needs to be kind of filled in. Usually there's like another layer of material goes over this. But first let's change the color. So black. I wish it was a little bit thicker. just looks kind of thin. Maybe one of these. Again, it's still kind of thin. Oh, that looks nice. But it's raw. It's raw. Eh. Yeah, this is fine. It's fine. We could also run more designs. Well, I like the trim on the top. I think that looks better. Better. But we do need to create another set of nylon here. It's a bit thicker. And perhaps rotated 45 degrees. Excuse me. But then this one is only up top here. About here. Okay. And our trim, I wish we had a way to, because if I rotate this, it's going to become mismatched on the center of the leg. Technically, it's mismatched already. Nylon copy, we'll add one more fill. We'll set this one to multiply or something. And interesting. How about just normal? That. Okay. Then we need something to fill in this. The trim. So we have the trim. What we need is one more folder here. Which will be the nylon trim background. We'll create an anchor point here. Add a fill. Take the nylon trim mask and add our favorite bevel. I'm going to push it out like this and then add a levels to kind of create a sharper. Yes, perfect. Exactly what we want. Like that. Sharper mask. And then we can set this to black just for now. Yeah. Then duplicate this, put it up top, and add a subtract. No, I think we just add a, or we can just adjust one of these to, nope, we'll add a fill. And on fill, that's affecting everything. We want to set it to, I think, subtract. And that way we can push it down a little bit. Tricky. Mm, fine. Do we create another anchor point? It's the only way I think to do it. Could also add a filter, mask outline, which is quite useful. Oh, yes. We need, all right, so let's remove this. We'll bring it back in just a second, but we have this background level, which we will add an anchor point here, but then do a fill on top of it with a subtract. So we can kind of lessen the opacity, not completely, but just enough to bring that lower design through. Don't need to push it quite as far. So there. And then no, sorry, remove that subtract. We want it filled completely, but we go to base color and lower it here. Perfect. Like that. The reason we want to do that is because we want to take the height. The height should replace there is no height value right now. Now there is. Perfect. Um, a little bit darker than this. Back to base color. About there. But the design is not coming through at all. Okay, that's looking better. So now it's coming through a little bit. And lower that so it's not as intense. Okay, okay, okay. And then on top of this, we'll do another folder. And this will be the nylon trim BG outline. Because we did add the anchor point. So now we add a fill here. Grab that anchor point, and then we add a filter here for the mask outline. And we turn the width down quite a bit. Just want to like right there on both. And then what I'd like to do set this to height. Set this height to place. Like that and that. So now we have, say, a much more convincing trim. The roughness levels are off, but other than that, pretty good. Just some final tweaks to be made. But progress has been had. Yes, now it looks like an actual thing. Okay. Well, look at that. That's from our bevel here. So we'll just want to add a paint above this to just ensure that we're only affecting that leg. All right. A challenge, but we're doing it. We're doing it. We're making progress. All right. So now let's add some soft gradients on the legs, especially like starting here, going down. That'll help sell the nylon look. A lot of nylon there. Let's actually just make a folder for that. Nylon. Okay. And then template, nylon, gradient. And this one will be super simple. It's just color. Go to here, we add fill. Fill, we add a gradient. Select this gradient. And no repeat. We just move it here. Like so. About there. And I could move it all the way down the leg. But we do want to just lessen the opacity a little bit so it's not fully changing it. Then we'll set it to linear dodge, duplicate, rotate, and move the other way. So we get a gradient going the other direction. All right. So now progress has been made. Just the lower, let's see, we can turn that off. We need to make just a little bit less. There. Let's also set it to overlay. Okay. Perfect. Do. Might be nice to have this a little bit higher, just so we see more of it. It's kind of saucy. Excuse me. It's not a lot of room to move it, but we can give it a shot. So that's the trim here. Thankfully, with all the anchor points that we've made, all we need to do is just move this. And everything else moves with it. A little bit lower. I do think that it's too solid right now. It still doesn't look like fabric. Like here it looks like fabric, but here it does not look like fabric. And that is the BG layer here. So I think what we'll do is we will copy our nylon itself. We have this shape brick, copy, bring up to here and paste it. And I think we'll set it to subtract. That way it's inverted. Increase that resolution again. There. All right, now that looks pretty legit. Just lower it a little bit so we get enough that looks convincing. It's fabric. We know that it's not fabric. All right, that was challenging. That was a challenge. Clothing. So, I think we've got some basic shapes in. So far, this doesn't have as witchy a design as the rest of the clothing. So maybe we'll see if we can add some patterns along the length of this. Why don't we add that in the trim layer? Here. Just go ahead and duplicate this. Change it to one of these other cool patterns. Maybe one like that. And just load it. Let's make sure it's set to linear dodge. Oops. We'll also need to make sure we add the seam on the inside of the leg. How about we rotate it? Have something going the length of the How about one of these and no repeat? We just have this cool pattern. Just put it right over the knee. Where's the knee? Oops. I think what I don't like about this is that it is too strong. So let's put it above the anchor point. Ah, and now we just get the design here. Like that. Very cool. That feels a little bit cooler. Yes. Yash. In fact, I'm going to set this one to repeat horizontally or repeat vertically. Or just duplicate it. Let's swap it for some. How about that? And too messy. That's pretty cool. All right, let's duplicate both of these and just repeat it. No reason to get too complicated. Just kind of keep going. This hole here is kind of funny. Let's take you, duplicate it, and put. Oh, perfect. Let's put this here. All right, keep going. So just continue to duplicate. Take these two, duplicate. You go this way. And you go this way. Or, is that the right one? Yeah. Can we move it further though? Because it does reach this little spot here where it gets kind of funky. It still looks pretty cool, honestly. We'll switch up the pattern for the very last one. Something. I don't know. It's working pretty nicely. All right. Maybe a little bit too much here. Just leave them beans. Just leave them beans out. Sure. And then we just want to move the moon down. Where are you, moon? All right. I would say that looks pretty witchy. I regret not doing this on its own layer, but not too much. Just a little. Just a little regret. Not a lot. This is odd though. Here. We'll have to paint that out. Right here. Perfect. I like that. That came up really well. All right. So now we want to make the garters actually look like they're attached in a realistic way. We can also make it look like it's part of the same material than having. I like the material change though. Everything's kind of the same material. It gets kind of visually uninteresting. All right, so nylons we can turn on and off. Ooh, boom, boom, easy peasy. Now this is strange right here. This bevel. Let's go make a folder called garter. Move this up here and drop all our garter materials in there. I wish we could change the color of these layers. Oh, we can. All right, so we'll take these, make them red. Perfect. And all the nylon blue. How about orange? Yellow. Or whatever that is. Okay, so in this height layer that we made, we want to add a paint. Set it to, so we're just working on the UV texture. And we just want to paint this out right here. Oops. Let's turn down the softness. Paint, maybe just keep it like so. All right, better. One down, two down. They're just a little different, aren't they? That's annoying. Also, the underwear is coming through. Why? Because now, welcome. Hello. Sex indeed. Can it work? Twerk. Oh, that's much better. Ignore the blue underwear. That's just temporary, but we're learning a lot. learning a lot. Indeed. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I got some alphas that I've been playing around with, just layering them, creating that complexity. Let's do another template here. This will be the garter buckles. Excuse me. Should be like this, basically. Either right here and here. So it looks like that. And let's get to replacing like so. And then make the height a little bit out. Roughness, metallic, most importantly. Ooh, that's cool. Shiny. And then the normal also replace. There we go. I like that look actually. The little, kind of like a moon, little crescent look. I'm going to redo it because it's a little off, but I think that's actually a pretty good look. Boom. And boom. And then that. And oh, that. All right. And then I can go to the garter. We just move it up and over a little bit. Voila. Rinse and repeat. Yeah. You know, though, this garter is not in the right spot. It should be like over here. I don't think they should be this close together. In fact, this one might need to be like here. This other one should be like right here. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna redo that. This one should be over here. Whoa. And then this one should be here. Ignore the weird bumps on the skin. Ignore them. Like, all right. Man, I wish I could move those. But I can't. I love working with textures because you can just add extra textures under other textures. Doesn't matter to performance. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's like there's no reason not to go just absolutely nuts with textures. Unless, of course, it doesn't match a design or something like that. But it really is just like go crazy. Opposite of the coin, I hate working with textures because I gotta try and find some that I can use that match the aesthetic of the world. Finding the right textures is like just a little bit of a challenge. I'm gonna make that buckle shape in Photoshop so I can reuse it. I don't want to have to keep painting it manually every time. Oh, my eyeball. So just we want to make a shape, a circly shape. Like that. Let's do black for now. Oops. Should have done that on its own layer. Garter buckle. Boom. Like that. And then we can duplicate this. Move it up. Control T. Shrink it. Then take both of those, duplicate them, and invert them. I can't do both of them. This one will move down like that. Yeah. And then this one. We do that. Boom. Now we've got our buckle. Combine them, invert them, and invert the background. And we've got our alpha. All right, now I don't have to remake it every time. Avatars, Alma. Boom. Alpha. Might as well just do our object. And now for the buckles, we'll add a fill. In the fill, we add this. Make sure it's set to no repeat and set it to planar projection. Make it super small. Drag to the appropriate spot. Nice. Then set to linear dodge, duplicate, move to the opposite side. Flip. Place. All right, there we go. So now we have the little attachment pieces. Next, what are we going to do? I think we want to create basically the rest of the underwear here, like garter. Well, I guess the garter is not the garter is just this upper portion. And we'll just focus on just that for it. No, okay. Need a better way for this to be curved. I guess we just paint the whole thing. Why worry about it so much? Turn on this. The cat's yelling. She's yelling. Oops. Actually, for this spot, can I just do something like that? No, that's what I was trying before. Wasn't working well. Don't do it again. Okay, so now we've created, just kind of smooth that out, painted it a little bit. Next, what we'd like to do is go into our garter itself, add one more template folder. And this will be garter. Yeah. Garter band. All right. So for this one, it's just going to be these sections like right here. Yeah. I'm actually going to copy this one and paste that here. So we can just move up, be very, very accurate with that band. All right. We've done that. And then I guess it should actually go around the wrist. Let's just leave it like that for now. All right, so we've created that band. And then what we want to do is just create a material difference. Easiest way to do that is just with height. Just kind of push it in or out. And we will also. What? My cat's yelling at me right now. We could do an outline. Can you guys hear? That's kind of nice, actually. This little band. Lurking, packing up stuff. Hey, that's totally fine. All right, cool. Now I got a nice little material change there, which looks nice. And let's add it in a few more spots, maybe like here. All right. Okay, so now we just want to have a little bit more of these patterns and designs, bring that up onto the garter itself. The best spot to do that would be in here. So template, fill, and in that fill, add something like that. And can you guys hear her? She's just yelling. Just standing there in the doorway, yelling. Goofy. Cats are goofy. Goofy. And doofy. Friend asked me to help with his world, and I ended up taking it over, even though I'm very busy about it. Put a little Easter egg in this world. Uh-oh. Something to crush him. Destroy him. It's not blending as I thought it would. Go back to the band, and I took off the mask outline. But you know what? That's not bad. And then it gets that difference there. What'd you put in his world? I'm gone. The glass has an alpha on it that can only be seen from very extreme angles, so it's my space goblin pick. Oh, that's awesome. Like you have to be looking for it to see it. Let's just slowly be like subliminally going, I want to see Nab in space, but why? I don't like that. That bums me out. Right there. Oh, we are in 4K. Is that him right there? That's funny. I can just see the eyes. That's funny. It does look just kind of like a reflection at first. Oh, excuse me. Uh-oh. What is this? Should I line with this? All right. One time I put an Easter egg in the world, but I won't tell him where. By the time I let him check out the world of VR, I took it out. So I know he'd go looking more. Just keep him searching forever. Oh, this is interesting. Why is that happening? Is that happening before? It's Basque. No. Dang it. Oh, it's because I put them all in a folder. Um, and nylon trim does have height info. We have to set the height to place here. No. Oh, no. Dang it. Why is this happening? It's no fun if he finds it because of a bug in the world. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Alright, so the nylons are working fine. It's the garter that is replacing everything else. So this one should be linear dodge instead. Sort of. Pass through. Okay. I'll have to remember that. There we go. Okay. All right. So now, I guess we just kind of continue. So now we need to make the top. Actually, before we continue that, let's make the like a lace below the garter. So go here, create another template below, and we'll say under trim garter. And of course, add a fill. In the fill, we add this stuff. Boom. And here, set it to no repeat, planar projection. Drag it, shrink it. I think something like this would work nicely. And we just want to set the color to black, of course. a little bit of height. And roughness. It's a little shiny. Yeah. That. And decent. Let's try something else. Squish this one down. A little bit smaller. Rotate it this way. Down. Squish. Squish this way. Or maybe I should be adding it here. Let's actually delete it. Fill one more time. So yeah, UV projection, no repeat. And then put the pattern in there. Doop doop. And then put it in. Yeah, that's better. There, that way we're not getting any odd stretching. It looks a little bit too delicate, maybe. It doesn't feel like a. It looks like a tattoo, which I don't have a problem with, but it doesn't really look like it's part of the garter. The same problem. Let's try this. That. No. Maybe we just need simple repeat pattern. So let's try shape or club. How about diamond? Like this. And then we'll just set it to repeat horizontally. Yep. Shrink it way down and move it over here. All right. Better. Again, I really wish I could wrap it onto object. Let's move this over here. Maybe right about there. Gonna stretch it that way. Let's do a different shape. Club. Club. Or maybe one of these other really cool alphas like the moon. This one. That's just the spacing so odd on them. I actually like that because they're basically touching. Again, I just wish I could manipulate the path. Let's look that up. Substance Painter path tool. Pattern. It's designer. Don't want designer. No. Oops. I want like an actual curve. Ah, Bezier curves, exactly. Ah. Not what we want. Not what we want. Okay, but I can just paint it. That seems like too much work. It's not even, and that's going to bug me. So we do need to add a paint layer, or yeah, paint in the mask. That's a fill. Set of paint. Thank you. Then we want to change the spacing like that. Turn off this. Let's say 120. All right. Then turn that back on. Set this to, well, let's see. Boom. Not a fan of this, I think. Better, but it's also just kind of tricky. Suji Yumi, welcome. We're making lingerie right now. Oh, appreciate the heart. A little bit too big. Yeah. So we're gonna undo that. Fill one more time, or no, paint one more time. And we're just gonna decrease the size of that. Thighs, indeed, indeed. Yeah, you were here when I started on Alma last week. Oops. That does not look right. That doesn't look right either. So tricky because the brush is paying attention to the 3D model, whereas I'm painting on the 2D. All right, that's better. That's better. But yeah, so we've ignored the blue underwear. That's just placeholder, so I don't get banned. But we've got her clothes. Fixed your computer. Hey, congrats. That's awesome. Yeah, so she's coming out super well. Added a lot of little details to her already. Lots of little greebles. Ignore the feet coming out here. There's the little shoes. Shoes. That is the stitching, isn't it? That's okay. It looks kind of cool, actually. Yeah, she's coming together. So next, there should be some little clasps to hold this piece together. So we are going to paint. Excuse me. Here. Oh, that actually worked kind of well, but no spacing on this one. And spacing. Turn the hardness. So it's like this. Bam. Just sitting here in VR chat watching your stream, bored, lol. Well, good. Good that you're here and hanging out. Bad to be bored. To the garter, uh, not buckles. Well, it should be. We can just make it part of the buckle. Material. Paint. Do we have a buckle? Alpha. Yeah, this little guy. That'll work. We'll be sure to tell everyone you meet in VR chat about me. It's required. Put one there. I suppose here. And then we just want to erase this part. Like that. Perfect. All right. Things are looking pretty good. Now we just need to start blocking out the shape for her top. So it'd be fun to have something that where, oops. What's this? What is that? Come on, load. It's the what's causing that? Okay, it's just the underwear. Gotcha. There we go. Perfect. But it'd be fun to have a top. Let's call it bra. That's basically what it's going to be. And let's just paint out a shape. So something kind of like this, some sort of strap. Fun to have something that shows through the top here, like so. Hello, Thyron. Welcome. We're just goofing around right now, making our avatar. She's coming out pretty well. Got her hair done, eyeballs. Hat looks cool. A lot of little details on her. Right now, though, we're working on kind of the lingerie part of her. And we're just kind of goofing around, seeing what shapes would work well for her. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe something like this. That was my cat. She's sneezy. Something along those lines. Mostly just kind of riffing off of some Pinterest designs. Sure, that looks kind of nice. Too much though through the clothing. Let's make sure to set the bra height to pass through. Wait, wrong place. Okay. I don't mind that, but it doesn't feel as perhaps as interesting as it could. Let's go ahead and get some. So that's attempt one. Let's make a fill layer. We'll add these. Do a little bit of shenanigans. So that. And that'd be kind of cool to have like some sort of lace pattern coming through. I think that's a little bit nicer. But IMO, my opinion. IMO. How about this one? Um, hmm. What about with this one? Like that. Maybe we made these thinner. Definitely thinner either way. I think we also need a trim on the cloth because it's just this transition from skin to this cloth here does not look very good. It needs to be more distinct. I only got 10 more minutes in my morning session, so we'll be ending a little bit soon. Yeah, something like that's kind of nice. A little too busy right now, but I like the idea. I mean, that's still pretty nice. We'll probably do something similar to the nylons as well, where it has this grid pattern, nylon material. We'll move that up there too. Oh. there is a shadow here, but it's just not visible. So I need to go back to the model itself. Grab these vertices right here. And then move them, maybe not up, but forward. Kind of like that. Move one more. Like so. All right, that did help a little bit. Still needs to be a bit darker here. Or just, again, something to break up the transition there. What? What? Can you see her? She's so cute. Little kitty cat yelling. All right, so let's go to the clothing. And then the shadow. Ooh, she's sneezing. This is where we're looking at. And perhaps just add a gradient to it. This is this type of gradient. I want this type of gradient. That's better. Just a little bit of shadow to break them up. Much better. Can I do another one of these right here? This one climbs up the back of the neck. So no on that one. And then this one actually does need to be tweaked a little. Anyway, in order to move this. Which one of you is going? I can paint as much as I want there. It's not going to affect anything because it has to be this one. There we go. Yay. All right, take a sip. My Red Bull. And I think, by the way, we should become friends on VRC. Reason I want more friends. I'm not on VR chat super often, but I think it's just the same name. It's either Sam Dutter or S Dutter, but feel free to add me. Oh, dang, I'm pleased with her. She's coming out very well. We'll have to finish up the bra and stuff later, but progress is being made. I think I may actually just include it in this garter material. Yeah, most likely. Because we already have just a lot going. We'll do the nylon up here, and then the garter material too. VRC avatar pink hair. Yes, with a gas mask. That should be me. That was the latest avatar I made for a client. But all right, y'all. I am calling it here for my stream for the morning session. So I do 2 streams every day, every weekday. This is the morning session, and I'll be back again about an hour and a half, 2 hours to continue work on Alma here. And a lot of good progress so far. Look at all these crispy details here. Look at that. Look at the belt. Amazing. Very pleased with the progress here. But Suji, Thyron, thank you so much for coming by. Nab as well. Thank you for coming by. Oaks, hope you all having a fantastic day so far and that it just gets better. Hopefully, I'll see you this afternoon in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. But you all have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you, Thyron. Same to you. See you all very soon. I'll be back in about an hour and a half. Bye.